What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this one here, we're going to be taking a look at Enchantress again with her new uniform, Summer Days. As you can see, I did get pretty lucky, and I was able to get her potential already, so we do have her at level 70, so that's why I'm going to do another video here. And we're also going to be changing her out to a CTP, but I wanted to show her at level 70 with my current build, and then switch over to the CTP. So let's go ahead and take a look at the build here on Enchantress. I have a few Urus on her because I needed to get her crit rate and her crit damage up because they were abysmally low. She only had like 30% crit rates and 120 or 130% like crit damage, so they're all very, very low. So I tried to bump that up just a little bit. I didn't get it, you know, that high, but at least it's at a more respectable level now. And then have all of her skills leveled up. Her Isolate set, we do have a fully awakened Isolate set on her, and that's just because when she was first released, I really liked the character and actually put a fully awakened set on her way back then when she was first released, so this has been on her for a very long time. Well, with the exception that I did change it because it was Hawk's Eye, and I changed Overdrive, so I did swap out just one Isolate to do that. So there's only one new Isolate on here because I didn't really want Hawk's Eye on her. I wanted Overdrive or Power Angry Hulk. Ideally, I wanted Power Angry Hulk, but we got Overdrive, and I wasn't going to waste any more gold because I burnt a lot of gold rerolling her Isolate. And the current obelisk we have on her is just a Ignore Defense, Ignore Dodge 120 proc. And this was way back, you know, back in the old days of my account where I didn't have very good cards, so that Ignore Defense was very, very valuable to me. So that's why I had this on her instead of something like a little better in terms of the damage proc, because I just really wanted Ignore Defense and I really wanted that Ignore Dodge. So that's kind of why this obelisk has been sitting on her for such a long time. But we are going to swap this out to a CTP of Judgment today, so I decided I wanted to put a Judgment on her, and then we're going to see how she does. Her uniform is sitting at rare. That's the only biometrics I had laying around of her. I'm not really feeling like I'm going to buy the bio sub just to get her uniform up, because I'm doing okay right now, and I can show you the total stats here. So we were able to get her crit rate up to 50%, which is respectable for me. I like to have that 50%. That's a good point to be at. The crit damage is only 167, so we popped that up like an extra 40%, but you know, it's still pretty low. I'd like to get that a little higher. Her Ignore Defense right now is over cap because of the obelisk, but as you can see, it's just 18% over cap. So when I remove that obelisk, I'm going to be 5% under cap. So I'm probably going to put 2 or 3 Ignore Defense Uru on her just to get that back up to cap, but I'll do that once I switch to the CTP. And her skill cooldown is close enough at 48% that I don't think that's really going to be hurting anything, and her attack speed is looking pretty good at 126, but if I had gotten a Power of Angry Hulk, I would have been maxed on attack speed, which would have been nice, but that's still a good amount because we're only, what, 3%, because that's basically 127, so we're only 3% under cap, so that's not too bad. Yeah, so that's my build on Enchantress, so let's go ahead and try her out with this current setup, and then switch over to the CTP and see the difference in damage. Alright, so we're going to start off here at Call Obsidian. We're going in on a stage 50, and I found that using her own leadership is the best way to go. I tried her out with She-Hulk lead, I tried her out with Ancient One lead, so I've tried her out with a few different leads, and her own leadership is best. That 40% increase is enough for that Ignore Defense boost to overtake the damage boost from a regular leadership, so you can just go with that and go with double support. I have two supports here that work for supervillain, so that's what I'm using right now. So let's go ahead and hop in. We just have some random strikers here, just using them for the 10% increase to supervillain, because she has her own mind control and her own all defense down, so we do not want to use either of those kind of strikers because that'll just build up the boss's resist and make that a lot harder for Enchantress here. Alright, so let's just start off with our mind control here, or I guess charm in this case here. It looks like we missed. Oh no, the charm landed. So surprisingly for Enchantress here, I find that her first skill seems to do the most damage. If for some reason, because I am, like I said, using damage proc, and Enchantress is pretty much a skill spamming character, so it's really hard for you to consistently land your damage proc on a certain skill. And also, as you can see, her skills are very short in terms of the animation, so that also makes her a very bad option for a regular proc, just because if you look at the activation of a regular damage proc, if you can see that activate up there, it's the first of the custom gears. It activates, but then it goes away right after your skill animation ends. So even if there's still particle effects or residual damage from that skill itself, if the skill animation has stopped and you're able to go into another skill without canceling it, then the damage proc has worn off. So that's why characters with very short skill animations are generally not very good for damage procs. So that's why she's definitely going to be a lot better on a activation, so Judgment or Rage. And like I said, I'm going to try her out on Judgment because I think that's going to be a little more of a better a better fit for her than Rage. And plus I don't want to just be slapping Rages on everyone, because I'm going to have a few more videos out of characters with Rage because I've been swapping them around. Oh, I think we're going to die here. Just got a little unlucky there, but as you can see, easily clearing this stage. No problem there at stage 50. Again, that's with 2 supports in her own leadership. And just for a quick comparison, because she does have all mind damage skills, we can pop on over to Ebony here and just see what kind of damage she does. We'll just do a stage 70 here. So let's pop in with the same team, and again, just some random damage increased strikers, because we don't want the mind control or the all defense down strikers. And then we'll just see what you can do here on a stage 70. And then when we swap over, hopefully we'll see a pretty good increase in damage. So here we go. Let's get him charmed up. And then we'll get going. And I should probably be using the 3rd skill before the 5th skill. I don't think it really matters anymore. It seems like they've changed the priorities of all defense down, or characters that have 2 different all defense downs, because she has -60 on her 3rd skill and -40 on her 5th skill. But if you look up at the all defense down, it separates them, so it doesn't seem to matter which one you apply first. At least that's what I'm noticing. If I'm incorrect about that, let me know in the comments below. But it doesn't really seem to matter what order you use them in on the character that you're playing. If you have, of course, a striker with it, then definitely you want the striker with the higher all defense down to go. We might die here. Don't die. All right, can we charm you before you get into that? Yes, we can. All right, so yeah, as you can see, we're doing great damage here, but that's to be expected. This is a stage 70 though, so not an easy stage by any means. We're pretty high up there, and she's still blowing through this pretty easily, I would say. I'm not sure how much farther up she could go, but she's doing pretty good here. So yeah, now that we have a good idea of what she's doing on just a 120 proc, so of course if you have another, I guess, decent option would be a CTP of Energy if you want to go with the CTP, but I think if you're going to go that route, it'd just be best to try to get a double mind damage proc obelisk over a CTP of Energy or a CTP of Destruction. The only benefit you're going to get from the CTP of Energy that you're not seeing here with this obelisk is the chain hit damage. And of course you can see she has a lot of residual hits, so she definitely will take advantage of that chain hit. But I don't think that's going to make the energy any better than Judgment. But again, I'm not really going to be testing that. I'm just going to be testing Judgment. So let's go ahead and swap her obelisk here, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, so we swapped on over to a CTP of Judgement. As you can see here, we have a 200% rolled Judgment. And the other stats actually came out pretty good for the all attack and chain hit damage, so I'm actually really happy with how this one rolled. So this should be a good fit for her. And then, oops, if we go over here, I did put on 4 all defense down, 4 ignore defense Urus, so that we could get her back up to max for ignore defense after losing that from her previous obelisk. So that's what she's looking like now. So now let's see how she performs with this with this Judgment on. Hopefully it's going to be a big bump in damage. Alright, so we're back at the stage 50 for Call Obsidian here. So hopefully we're going to see a noticeable increase in her damage, or else I might regret putting this on her, but I don't really expect that to happen. I'm pretty sure that she's going to do really well with a Judgment on. So let's get started here. Alright. Oh, yep, there we go. We're starting to see blade twisters, the bane of my existence. And a time freeze. They're trying to make her look worse with the CTP of Judgment on, but no, I'm sorry, stage effects, you are not going to ruin this. Oh, and one thing I did notice that's actually really nice about her charm now. So if you remember before, she did the charm, you know, just by like flying around them there. So as soon as you hit the second skill, you would get the charm off. But now, since you have that little extra damage from the charm where it's gets those little like hearts that go seeking in and hit the boss afterwards, if your initial spin or whatever from the second skill doesn't charm them, then those extra little hearts that come flying in will charm them, which is really nice, because I had that help me out on Ebony a few times, because he would teleport away when I'm in iframe, because he's very good at teleporting while you're in an iframe, which I don't know why. And then those hearts hit him when he came out of the iframe and he got charmed. So I was really happy about that. But oh yeah, as you can see, the damage is looking a lot better here. So now let's go ahead and switch over to Ebony and see if the trend carries on over. All right, so same stage of Ebony, just go ahead and load back in, and then hopefully we'll see some destruction here. I'm not really expecting her to be able to like max out on Ebony, but hopefully she'll be able to push pretty high with this Judgment on. And also we're going to be trying her out, not in this video, but we're going to be trying her out in GBR to see how she does there, since we do have her at level 70. Ooh, yes, okay. Good damage. Very happy with this damage right now. Yeah, look at her go. That was really quick. Yeah, so Enchantress is looking really good with the CTP of Judgement on. We can do one last thing here just to try to show her off maybe a little more. Well, actually, this might make her look a little bad, but let's go all the way up to the tippy top here. Stage 99. Bring her in. Not really expecting much here, just so you know. Stage 99, you're really going to need like minus 100% or minus 90-some% all defense down, and she doesn't quite get there. She gets to, what was it, minus 84% or 86 or something like that. So she's not really going to be able to clear this, but let's just see if she can do damage at least to Ebony here. So yeah, this might end up making her look a little bit bad, but here we go. We'll try it out. So she's doing damage. It's low. I'm betting if we had a CTP of Rage on, we might actually have a chance at this, but I'm not swapping over. I have the Judgment on her. That's what she's staying with, unless I get a lot of comments that want me to swap this out for Rage to try that, but I'm pretty sure this is just what I'm going to be keeping on her for now, unless I find another elemental character that I really like, and I will take it off her and maybe try it on them. But yeah, as you can see, she is doing damage. It's just very low. That's like a bar a minute, so we're not really going to have a chance at clearing this. But, you know, it's just fun to see her actually doing damage and surviving here on a stage 99, because that's pretty cool to do. I don't know, maybe if they do some more changes to World Boss in the future, she might be able to do this stage. But right now, since you kind of need that really high all defense down, we don't really have a chance of beating it with her, at least. But yeah, so I'll just leave that here. Let me know what you think of Enchantress. Do you think she looks really good with the CTP of Judgement? Do you think I should have just gone with Rage instead of Judgment? Or are you happy that I showed off the Judgment? Let me know if you're just going to go with a regular obelisk on her, or if you're just skipping the uniform altogether, because you're definitely going to need the uniform to be able to do any of this stuff that you're seeing here today, because without the uniform, she's not going to have a chance to do any of these. So yeah, just let me know how you're feeling about that, and that'll be it for this video here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.